Welcome back to Riding Bikes in San Diego. If you watch this channel often enough, you know where we are. We were on Meade and we're now on Fairmount. This is going to become another regular part of my ride soon because the semester's starting up and I happen to be a professor. We're on Fairmount and I'm speeding it up a little bit, but those bollards back there are fairly new. They're not bollards, what am I saying? They're flex posts. The flex posts are fairly new, and of note is just how many of them have been beaten up already. And they only went in like 4 months ago. They went in shortly before the semester ended, so I was stoked on them, but also only half the hardware is holding these down. And we'll look at that a little bit more in another video, and I'm sure we'll see it more in videos to come over the next few months. And usually I get off on Montezuma there to the right, but I'm passing by it. Ironically, I'm going to the medical place right now because I need to get a checkup, and this is the condition. This is as healthy a way as I can go to get to where I have to go for a medical appointment. I have to cross these the on and off ramp from Montezuma here, and the ramp from Montezuma onto Fairmount is much busier, so you could see me negotiating this right here, and this is the best they could do. You know, paint is not protection, and luckily I was able to make it over. That jag left a little gap for me before speeding off. I don't use this stretch quite a bit, but I see it from Montezuma a lot, and often there are people parked over here, which freaks me out, but I'm glad that they're not parked here. What gets me about this specific path that we're on right now is that it has this deviation coming up right here, and I think this is really important. Check this out. The pavement is not great, but I really love this radical separation that happens. And this fella, as I come up on him, he's pointing out there's a spotted owl there on the ground. I don't know if you could see that. So he pointed it out to me and said, hey, you know, it's a spotted owl. And he walks over there and tells me that it looks like the owl had gotten a rat. And so we're having a quick conversation about how maybe the rat was poisoned, and now the owl who's sitting there in the daytime, which is a very unusual thing, but it's a beautiful animal. So I'm stopping, and he pointed out, you know, how beautiful it is, and so we're having this quick conversation about an unnatural moment in a semi-natural setting. And he tells me that the Humane Society was called, and they should be coming by soon, and that made me feel good because I would have called them if he hadn't said that. He said they should be along in a little bit, and he's kind of waiting for them, and he's, you know, just in the area doing his thing. Some of you might think that occurrences like this can be a little scary, but you know, people are people, and we're just on a nature path here, which is strange because this is such an odd thing. But that experience, I've never seen a spotted owl that close up before in nature, and I wouldn't have gotten that experience if I was driving a car. So, but I'm on a bicycle, and when you're on a bicycle, you can notice more things around you, appreciate more things, and just have a little more time to take stuff in. So also, you know, it's good to know that somebody has already called for help. I like knowing that, and I would have done it, but to know somebody else did it it's important. It restores a little bit of faith. And goodness, I love this bike path that is separated, so I didn't have to ride on Fairmount for that couple of blocks as it merges onto the 8 and the 15. But a question I need to ask now is, where was that bike path going to? Because it collapses right now into a sharrow off to the side. And for a second here, I was thinking maybe I should have gotten off and joined the sharrow, but I stayed on the sidewalk, and at least I get a button to push. I get a big button. That cyclist that just went by is the one we passed further back. When you're riding a bicycle, even if you're riding slow, you catch up to people. I also stopped to look at a spotted owl for a second. But Now I did not get a green light. I thought I would get a crosswalk that I could have used to get ahead of all that car traffic. I didn't get it. I don't know why. But now I'm at the mercy of a pretty poorly built road and poorly maintained anyway, and drivers who are around me. Luckily, there are 2 lanes here, and there's plenty of room for all of us using it, so nobody's honking at me. One of the things I noticed when I'm riding here, and now this is Mission Gorge, going through Grantville, a lot of this curb is red, but not all of it, and I gotta wonder why not. Like, just about every property off to the right of us has a private parking lot. They all have parking built in. I don't know why there's any street parking through here. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, just get rid of the parking, put a bike lane in here. Once again, I'm going to the hospital. Like, it's a good thing I'm already on the way, because if anything happened to me, at least I'd be close by. And for those who don't know, in the Grantville area, there are 2 major medical centers, hospitals. There's the one I'm going to on Vanderveer, and then there's one on Zion. And people routinely go to these things, especially if you have that healthcare provider. Like, the pharmacy is in those places. Kind of, it's a place that people use. But good luck getting there. I'm hanging off over here in the shoulder, but now parking starts up once again right next to a parking lot. And it doesn't matter that a bunch of people are in cars. When there are traffic lights, somebody riding a bicycle is going to move just as fast as the traffic. So we go together, and I don't have to wait behind those people. And I marvel at how unnecessarily difficult this area is to ride through. But it's an essential corridor. And I could have maybe stayed on Fairmount, but there was no bike infrastructure for me to get over to the left way back just after the 8. So now it's nice and quiet on this strode. I drift on over to the left and ride in this turn median so I can get to that traffic light ahead where I'm going to make a left. Mixed bag on this ride. One area has flex posts and an attempt at infrastructure, and then we get this complete separation into this nature path and see a spotted owl, and then we go through this urban corridor that is really an industrial corridor, and no design at all. These are the things I'm thinking about. This is an experience I wanted to share with you. Get out, see some nature while we drive less and ride a bike. Thanks.